Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today my 6-month-old somehow managed to get his sticky little paws on my cell phone and actually ordered an Uber. I'm not kidding or exaggerating at all, but that Uber's been canceled and we're finally rested and relaxed to sit down and watch Mr. Yo playing as the Byzantines in blue take on Kasva playing as the Romans in red. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings and try to go up to Feudal Age ASAP, let's take a look at the civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now, the Byzantines are a civilization designed to take a punch to the face. Their structures have progressively more HP, starting in Dark Age, 2640 on a town center compared to the usual 24, and all the way up to 40% more HP in Imperial. Their bomber towers can be upgraded to get splash damage. They get Town Watch, Town Patrol for free, so they automatically see enemies coming from a mile away. Their monks heal their units twice as fast, and they can slow down enemy advances by spamming what we all lovingly call trash units, because their spearman line, their skirmishing line, and their camel line units are all 25% cheaper. Now, their unique unit is the Cataphract, a heavy cavalry unit with a massive attack bonus against infantry that can actually take a beating with a decent amount of HP and decent base armor. Now, when the Byzantines finally do decide to get their butts up to Imperial, they only pay 2/3 the cost, which means they can invest their saved resources in upgrading those very same cataphracts I just mentioned by giving them trample damage and an even bigger attack boost against infantry. Now, speaking of infantry, we've got the Romans to the right side of the map, a mixed land-based naval civilization with a few very strong unit features that make them potentially very, very dangerous in the later stages of the game. To start with, Roman infantry gets double the effect of blacksmith armor upgrades, and they have access to the Legionary, a tanky, well-armored, unique infantry unit that actually replaces their two-handed swordsmen and champions and comes with a decent attack bonus against other infantry. So I guess we've got the infantry bonus versus infantry bonus matchup on our hands today. Now, if that's not enough for you to make their infantry even deadlier, the Romans can turn to a second unique unit, the Centurion. This is a heavy cavalry unit that actually increases the movement speed and attack speed of any militia line units under its command. Now, to overwhelm the opponents of the SPQR on the battlefield, the Romans can actually upgrade their entire militia line, knight line, and centurion units to not only train faster, but all come with a small +5 charge attack, very similar to the Burgundian Custelier. To back up their army on the battlefield, Romans do have access to one of the deadliest, if not the deadliest, scorpions in the game. Not only do these siege units cost a lot less gold, think Polish knight level discount with Schlachta, but they don't have to research anything. It is automatically cheaper. Their minimum range is lowered from 2 to 1. They can be upgraded to fire faster, and they're the only scorpions in the game that actually benefit from ballistics, which means they can track you down as you move around and bolt you to the back of the head. Now, to help a player get to the later stages of the game, take advantage of all these cool unit features and characteristics, Roman villagers do gather resources and build and repair structures 5% faster than generic villagers. Those other two civilizations, both players sitting at 17 villagers a pop, and not a bad time to take a look at where they've spawned. On the minimap, it kind of looks like they both spawned in a bit of a depression here. In any event, pretty damn cool that there is that kind of mirror. Primary gold for our Byzantine, a little secure to the back, annoyingly placed next to 2 hills, which means mining camp only, unless he wants to put a town center, I guess, right here. No chance in hell Monsieur is going to place a town center anywhere here. So primary gold, a little secure, but exposed nonetheless. Primary stone, oh my god, that is disgusting. Not only is it kind of exposed, but it is on a big, what do we want to call it? The top of the hill, king of the hill stone pile. That's going to be very annoying to mine, but good amount of forest cover means that the forward wall off is not going to be too bad. Mr. Yo never one to shy away from building big, long, juicy wall offs. Additional gold to the back, additional stone to the north, and additional gold very much in the forward position. Ignore the bamboo that I accidentally highlighted. Pivoting our eye to the right side of the map, the Romans, their primary gold also annoyingly placed on a hill, so he's got to go with mining camp as well. Primary stone nice and secure in the back. He's also got 3 forests, but the entire northern portion of his base is open, and that is exactly where that gold is. So Kasva a little bit exposed, I would say a bit more than Mr. Yo. whose primary gold is at least somewhat rear facing. Where are his additional resources? He's got an extra patch of gold to the south, an extra patch of gold in the forward position, and a bit more stone in the forward position as well. But overall, I would give this very, very, very slightly to Mr. Yo in terms of base spawning. And speaking of Mr. Yo, he is now, I'm assuming, going to discover where his opponent is. He sees the lemon bushes, he sees the villagers, he sees the town center. So safe to say he knows exactly where the Roman is. The Roman hits Feudal Age, immediately begins training men-at-arms. Why? Because we see a few red dots on the map. Remember, when they get armor upgrades, they double the effect, which means that these guys are going to come with 2 melee and pierce armor. I guess 3 pierce armor, which is going to make them very, very deadly here against anything that the Byzantine can throw at them. Now, the good news is, for the Byzantine, like I said, they can clog up the works with a lot of these cheaper units. Again, at the 10-minute mark of the game just glitches out. I'm not too sure why all the time. 10 to 11 minutes. But if there's ever a civ... Is this open? No. If there's ever a civ that can throw a bunch of crap at you, it's the Byzantines. By the way, let's make sure I am... did he cancel the armor upgrade? Why did he... I was going to look at the armor to make sure I was right in calculating what 1 times 2 is. But no, he canceled the upgrade. So these are just basic men-at-arms at this point, as Mr. Yo begins shooing away this scout. Anything further from our Roman? No, just the 3 militia / men-at-arms here. So what do we make of this, that he's not investing in the armor upgrade at the moment? What is he using the food for? He is just training more and more villagers, both players getting the same lumberjack upgrades. It looks like our Byzantine will have horse collar, which means that his farms are going to be a little bit more lusher, a little bit more fertile. Skirmishers are here, but against a unit that already has 1 pierce armor base, a unit that attacks on a 2. I mean, I know I can do 2-1, not factoring in any hill-related bonuses. Okay, now we're seeing scale mail armor for our Roman as he backs away, doesn't want to take any kind of damage. Although even with this armor, he'll still take 1 damage from these javelins. Can't take 0 damage in this game unless there's a bonus in play. Mr. Yo, what are you trying to do? Just a bit of more scouting, keeping an eye on his opponent, making sure he catches glimpse of any kind of reinforcements that might be heading his way. And now he's starting to wall this off in a very interesting first location here, where to break ground with his shovel. And there it is, 2-3 armor for those men-at-arms. That being said, they've got to be careful. They're entering into a town center area. I think Kasva realizes it took a bit of damage. And he's got to be careful. He can't take a little bit here, a little bit there. That's not going to work out too well for him. And look at this. Mr. Yo says, you know what? I don't want to deal with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 men-at-arms rushing at me with their 2-3 ridiculous armor. And by the way, I think they move. No, they don't move faster. Not yet. 0.9 to 9.6. Yeah, to 0. So they don't move faster. So the skirmishers can technically outrun them. But doing a fantastic job keeping Kasva back in his house, making sure that these men-at-arms don't exactly reach Mr. Yo's base, join their brothers, because 3 at least 3 damaged ones are better than dealing with 5 damaged ones. Although I say that, Mr. Yo is he's heading straight back to his base, leading these guys on a chase right back to their base. Rather, right back to his base. Okay, a little bit of a confusing traffic jam there. And look at this. Kasva setting a bit of a trap here. He's going to sandwich these skirmishers, but they can escape north. 1 man-at-arms does ultimately fall. Mr. Yo is housed for a second there at 45 supply. And now what is he doing? He's exploring the map, looking for relics. Oh, looks like another man-at-arms died. Another one dies. But he's starting to get skirmishers. If they can close, man, will they take these skirmishers out pretty damn quickly. But, oh, look at that. The ability of the Byzantine to just, again, just clog up the works with these 25% discount is not a small discount. He is down 2 villagers, but look at that. How many people were concerned that the Roman men-at-arms rush in Feudal Age would just be, what's a Feudal Age rush called? A flush. How many people were worried that the Roman flush would just be impossible to stop? The Byzantines say, hold my beer, let me show you how to get this done. And they just pump out 9 skirmishers. He still has his scout exploring the map. Where is our Roman? Look at this. No more vision for him. No more vision for him. This is the only vision he has out on the map. Great as it is, it's a lot of line of sight for a unit. But back home, not much. And he loses his last militia line unit as more get trained. 6 kills for these skirmishers. Basically, Mr. Yo is free. Look at that. 680 food, 130 gold. Looks like our Roman will reach the resources necessary to go up to castle first. I mean, right as I say that, he researches town watch, plops down 75 food for that. So we'll see. Actually, never mind. He will get 800 before Mr. Yo, who now runs into 4 full health units here. And look at that, they have to back away because, again, if they can get into the minimum range of these skirmishers, there's literally nothing the skirmishers can do. But until that happens, I thought these units moved faster. Why did I think they moved faster than the skirmishers? Guess I was wrong. It looks like both players going up to Castle Age, literally 1 in-game second apart. If you're not familiar with how this game works, 1 in-game second is about, what, 0.6 real human seconds? This is just ridiculous. I mean, Mr. Yo's using quite possibly one of the weakest units in the game to counter one of the craziest armor bonuses in the game. This is 3 pierce armor, and these units attack on a 3. And yet somehow he has 9 kills to 9. Somehow these men-at-arms have accomplished literally jack diddly. We've got an archer now with a 5 attack, so he's going to do 2 damage to these men-at-arms. Okay, but for a second time this game, he has to garrison his villagers, run away. Kasva not paying attention, gets lured into the town center, takes a bunch of damage on the HP, but what is moving forward here? Even more men-at-arms. Archers hiding behind the skirmishers, getting a bit of damage here, a bit of damage there. They're landing a lot of their javelins despite not having ballistics yet. I guess when your opponent's unit is moving in a straight line, the odds of you hitting are a little bit, I guess, higher. The rattling sounds tells us we are in Castle Age husbandry for our Byzantine long swordsman and forging for our Roman. So we're going to get to see, I guess, cavalry, even though we don't have a single cavalry unit on the game. Oh, wait a second. Oh, that's a big mistake here by Mr. Yo. That's a big mistake there. Takes a lot of unnecessary damage, loses a skirmisher. Stupid horse, get the hell out of the way, says Mr. Yo, as another skirmisher falls right next to the horse's ass. But look at that. 5 villagers on stone already, 620, 30 stone. He is not plopping down additional town centers. We know what that extra stone means. We know what the husbandry means. Okay, maybe I'm getting too excited. I see him training a knight. I thought he was going to go cataphract, which when you're playing in infantry against an infantry civilization, cataphract is probably the right move. And look at this Mr. Yo. At this point, I suspect doesn't really care to lose this army. The fact they're just moving back and forth. They're probably just on patrol. I don't even know if he's looking at these units. Now they kind of seem like they are catching up. 0.99 speed to 0.96. Okay, so now they can catch up, which means that this last skirmisher is donezo. Kasva setting up a bit of a Huang-style proxy base in the forward position with a siege workshop and 2 scorpions. Arson as well, so he wants to take down structures. And there's that big, fat Byzantine castle with 6,240 HP, 30% more HP than normal. But the infantry is here, and they are not going towards the castle. They are going south, but we've got cataphracts on the way. This is going to be very problematic for a Roman. He's got a very small window here. He's got to realize what's coming at him. He sees the castle. Now, was the knight just a decoy? Was this all just one big distraction so that these beautiful silver units can come out? Oh, now he's going to reveal the cataphract. I don't know that that's necessarily the right move. 1 infantry unit dies immediately. 1 gets converted to the left side. Another one falls. The attack bonus right now against infantry +9. Redonkulous, that will go up to +12 with elite, and then I believe +18 with logistica. But not when you're surrounded. Holy moly, 7 to 1. Did he manage to get a unit here? No, I think that was from before, from the retreat. It looks like the Scorpion did fall to the quicker, tankier Cataphract, and he's running away. He doesn't want a monk to pop out of here and convert him. Oh, what a terrible... Oh my god, I was going to say what a terrible time to be a Scorpion, but no, he managed to get an actual skirmisher. That skirmisher must have been weak from before. A scout from a long time ago gets the kill on the next Scorpion, and now Kasva marshals his forces. He's training 2 Scorpions, but now there's already 6 Cataphracts, which means these infantry units are, how do I put this lightly, dead meat? Very smart of Kasva to spawn his units here to the back. Nice and secure, nice and protected. Does manage to convert one of the Cataphracts, but he's going to get converted back. Is he going to get Woolaload right back? Doesn't seem like it yet. Yeah. Cataphract going after a monk as a Cataphract goes after a Cataphract, and a Tiger goes after a Cataphract. Absolute bedlam here. Cataphracts to the north engaging in their treacherous friend. Cataphracts to the south destroying all of the siege. And now Kasva has expanded with a town center to the back, a town center to the front. He's playing this economically, down 7 army supply, 10-3. He's only down 1 villager. He will be ahead in villagers soon. Okay, Mr. O is training a ram. A ram, I hope, is going this way. Yeah. So now you can get rid of one of these structures, probably the siege workshop, and then go and attack. What attack bonus against buildings? Probably none, right? Yeah, no attack bonus against buildings. But what an absolute disastrous engage there for Kasva, who has 1 monk hiding inside the monastery. We'll see what that 1 monk can do. He's a dead man walking, but at least maybe get a conversion. There is a scout cavalry unit here, but scouts need 3 whacks, not 2 like a light cavalry. 1, 2, and a 3rd one. But he did manage to get a convert. Wow. Okay, so not terrible. 100 gold for 75 gold, 70 food. If I haven't mentioned, the Cataphracts are not that cheap. It is a very expensive unit to get fully upgraded. A lot of people complain about the Bengali Radas, but the Cataphract is not exactly a cheap unit to get up to. I think a Logistica, the final Imperial Age upgrade, is like 14 or 1500 resources alone. But here we go. I mean, pikemen are fantastic generally against cavalry, but when your opponent has a 9 attack bonus, and by the way, Cataphracts attack super fast, 1.8 seconds between attack compared to the usual 1.9 or even 2. Looks like this scout, oh my god, how long has this scout been alive with his Scorpion and monk kill? Finally does die to the pikeman. Okay, now we see the Cataphract in full control of the battlefield. How many other cavalry units in Castle Age would survive against a swarm of pikemen? A Roman at this point really has a few options available to him. I mean, monks are not terrible. Look at the armor on the pikemen, by the way, +4/+4, which is ridiculous. Looks like the monastery was cleared out. Now the houses will be cleared out as well. Mysterio finally secure, comfortable enough to go out and get a town center. Looks like he lost the Cataphract. Brilliant move to get the high ground here temporarily, but I think he see a moonwalking Cataphract is what he sees. No, I think he saw the monk and realized, hey, I don't want to lose another unit, especially not when the rest of them are really damaged. So both players taking a little bit of shots at each other. Ooh, a villager takes an attack round, but doesn't manage to kill him. Did drop off 13 gold or stone. I didn't really take a too careful a look. A great attack there out of our Byzantine. Second one, not that great. What is Kasva doing? He has 83 villagers, 84 to 66. He's ahead. 17, 18 villagers, but his army, it says he's got 9 army supply to 16, which normally wouldn't be terrible, especially if you're turtling up and now training oh my god, building a castle. But when it's pikemen against Cataphracts, I don't know about that. The good news for him is he's going up to 6 monks. So these cataphracts are very quickly going to become Roman cataphracts. I mean, it'll take a bit longer, but Roman cataphracts, not exactly a terrible thing. I wonder if he should go... Cataphracts do have a few weaknesses. I believe archer units are not great against, or rather are not bad against them with their only 1 base pierce armor. Monks, of course, a fantastic counter to any kind of slower heavy cavalry. Also other heavy cavalry. The Centurion does have a higher base attack, but what about the HP? Let's compare. No, they have the same amount of HP. That poor Centurion got its HP knocked down. Also, the attack speed of militia line units has been reduced to a flat 20%. Loses another one to a convert. He's got to run away, at least save the cataphract. These are actually good trades. You know, you can't say that too frequently in Age of Empires when you exchange 1 monk for 1 other unit. I mean, obviously, any kind of heavy units like siege or elephants or whatnot. But against general, you know, kind of more standard units, it's very rare that the loss of a monk is counteracted by the gain of the converted unit. In this case, like I mentioned, the cataphract is about 140, 150 resources, which is not bad. Oh, attack round does clip one of the Centurions. Second attack round basically destroys them. They turn around. Oh my god, fantastic attack rounds there out of Mr. Yo, getting a villagers, getting the HP of these Centurions down. I mean, where are your monks? Get in your castle. Mr. Yo now lays siege to the south of the base. Oh, the tiger kills the villager. Did it have the high ground? I think that was the villager that was attacking the tiger here. And so I think it automatically came, or rather just came with fewer HP points. HP points, that doesn't make sense. Less HP. Oh my god, are we going to see a game where the players just basically convert each other's units? 45 seconds away from Imperial Age is Mr. Yo. He is just now getting forging. It's hard to say what our Roman wants to do. He's got a little bit of infantry, he's got a little bit of cavalry, he's got a little bit of monk. And to be honest, oh, Siege Workshop, definitely no. To be honest, that's not terrible. A little bit of a hodgepodge here and there. I mean, the pikemen can engage with the cataphracts, while the monks convert the cataphracts, and the Centurions basically protect everything. Okay, I thought he was going to go counterattack. Is he getting converted? Oh, there is a monk here. Now, Kasva's heading up to Imperial, but he just clicked up, whereas Conscription is going to finish a minute and a half away from him being an Imperial. So Mr. Yo can keep pumping out more and more units. Now, luckily for Kasva, even though Mr. Yo's an Imperial, I don't see... Okay. I was going to say the upgrades on this unit are Castle Age upgrades. They're at a +1, +2. They're not elite. But of course, the second I open my big mouth to say that, Mr. Yo clicks the Elite Cataphract upgrade. So now the HP, the base attack, they're all going to go up. Why is this guy not attacking? Okay. Just kind of watching his friend take the brunt of the pressure. A very defensive castle by Mr. Yo. So Mr. Yo... oh my god. Logistica as well. Cass was in some serious effing trouble here right now. I mean... These cataphracts are basically 3 upgrades away from being full power. And in 58 seconds, they'll have 2 of those 3, which means the only thing they'll be missing is iron casting because the Byzantines do not get blast furnace. So things are getting pretty dicey here for our Roman, who just now clicks bloodlines. So these Centurions are at least going to jump up to 130 HP. He's in Imperial. What is he going to do? What is our Roman going to do? At least... No, I don't think he can even go up to Halberdiers. Mr. Yo is not giving him time. I think the fact that he got to Imperial puts a clock. Mr. Yo says, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and attack. Oh, this is a lot of gold to spend on monk upgrades, illumination, block print. I mean, block printing I have no problem with. Oh. Honestly, I have no problem with any of these upgrades that Kasva is researching. But look at Mr. Yo getting the last final upgrade for these cataphracts. And this is the moment Kasva decides to pounce, takes a terrible attack round. loses one Centurion. He does get the siege, but not before it gets the pikemen, and they're fighting from the low ground, it looks like. Oh my god. This Byzantine army is just destroying everything. Oh, wow. Wow, I need to see that battle again. Why did he take that battle? And why did it go so badly? Okay, so 30 seconds away. So he maybe clicked on this unit, saw that it basically had everything and anything, including, by the way, a plus 18 attack bonus against infantry. His own cavalry has no armor upgrades whatsoever, but even with no armor upgrades, they'd still have a 2 and 3 base. Pierce armor not really that relevant, so 5 base, 5 armor to 2. These pikemen, I mean, they're capped out at armor upgrades, but again, no attack upgrades, just the +1 on both of these. And let's see what Mr. Yo has here, because this is a bit of a confusing jumble. 21 cataphracts, 2 mangonels, and a monk against 17 pike, 11 centurions, and 5 monks. So let's see what the hell goes wrong here. I mean, first thing I can notice right away, and that we should all notice, is that Kasva is attacking with half his army. This should not be your forward attack. This should be your forward attack. Your meat shield. These pikemen, not yet halberdiers, basically there to die. Get them to soften up the cataphracts. Don't waste these guys on the cataphracts, although they'll probably fare better against the cataphracts. I think what he wanted to do is snipe the mangonels, which it looks like he went straight for them. But let's see what actually ends up happening here. So let me just highlight them. Of course, I highlight the farms. So do we have the armies highlighted? Yes. Looks like our Byzantine, about 800 HP more on his army. So 21 cataphracts, 2 mangonels, a monk, 17 pike, nowhere to be found, 11 centurions, and 5 monks. Let's see what actually ends up happening here. So we saw that he got a conversion on one of the centurions. At the same time, 1, 2, 3 monks only are training their conversion line of sight, their sniper lines on these cataphracts. He loses 1 mangonel. Second mangonel takes a shot. Somehow those pikemen avoided. How the hell did that happen, by the way? How did the pikemen avoid damage from that mangonel shot? Very strange. Very, very strange. No Byzantine conversion units converted just yet. And now the pikemen engage on the low ground. Okay, so halfway through the battle, the 1 converted centurion is still there. Our Roman converted 3 cataphracts. Our Byzantine hasn't, by the way, lost a single cataphract. He had 21. He's got 18 now, and 3 of them were converted. So he hasn't lost a single freaking unit yet in the middle of the battle. And look at the blue HP bars. Look at how healthy his units are. I mean, that's the power of having full armor upgrades. Our Roman doesn't have a single armor upgrade. Not yet. 8 seconds away. Pikemen continue to melt. Another cataphract gets converted. What an absolute nightmare for the Roman. So at the end of the day, the Roman army is no more. He's left with 2 pikemen, a cataphract, and his 5 monks who are, unless they run to the town center, are dead meat. Our Byzantine lost 3 units and 2 mangonels. 3 cataphracts, 2 mangonels in exchange for the entire Roman army. Holy shit. The importance of upgrades. 5 armor on here. Because again, I believe the Centurion does attack on a higher... No, that's a cataphract. I think the Centurion does have a higher base attack. So a 14 attack against a 13 attack. But now these are elite with 150 HP compared to 130. Also, I think the cataphract attacks much faster now. 1.9 for the Centurion. 1.7 attack now when they're elite. That is very fast for a cavalry unit. I mean, that's even faster than Conic with stirrups, which I think is 1.8 second delay. So these cataphracts, holy moly, not the first time we've seen them take out an army, probably not the last time. But he loses the army. Let's take a look at his economic position towards the end of the game, because the siege is gone now, so you're not in too bad of a position with 2 castles, 3 castles, 4 castles. But he's got 400 gold. Where's his gold? This pile unmineable. This pile easily mined. Has he discovered this one to the back? I mean, what is this? I don't think I've ever seen a pro game yet with double blacksmiths. I guess for civilizations that have any kind of discount on blacksmith upgrades or the blacksmith structure itself. But this is interesting. This is not something I've seen outside of StarCraft. But there you go. Yet another notch on the belt of the cataphracts. Kasva could have thrown a few archer units, could have added a few more monks. He does have the gold for it. He does get a few conversions, but ultimately, isn't it absolutely redonkulous that these cataphracts, only 3 of them died? Those mangonels played very little role. We saw them get a good attack round on the Centurions. We didn't see any damage on the pike, who, by the way, look at the bodies on the dance floor here of these pikemen. Yikes. And with these cataphracts, I mean, let's take a look at the stats. I can't imagine the economies are going to be way different with such a relatively short game. 47 cataphracts, 31 longswordsmen. There were none of these in the last 15 minutes of the game, last 10 minutes of the game. These guys all disappeared. They could have been moving faster. They could have been attacking faster with these I don't know why. Every time I want to say Centurion, my brain says Comitatenses, which is the their Imperial Age upgrade. So I have to pause. Trying not to say so much. If you guys have noticed, I probably been saying it every 10 seconds, but there you go. Peak APM for Kasva right at the beginning. Peak APM also in the beginning for our Byzantine economy. Yeah, not too different. About 10% difference in economy. Mr. Yo, big surprise with the relic lead. Does get all the resources except the wood. Let's take a look at conversions. 9 conversions out of 86 is more than 10%, which is not bad. 4 out of 96 is what, 3%? But 9 out of 86 is not bad at all. 10% of the Byzantine army became Roman, which is a strange historical quirk instead of the Roman becoming Byzantine. But there it is. There you go. The cataphract for Mr. Yo just takes this battle in such a decisive fashion, just crushes the Roman spirit so much that even though he's got a pretty decent setup going on here with 1, 2, 3, 4 castles, with no army, he has to make a very tough choice. Do I go Trebs? Because you know there's going to be a castle coming your way. Look at Mr. Yo, 19 stone, 19 villagers on stone, 1100 stone. Whether or not you have the caster's view, you must know that there is a big, juicy Byzantine castle. By the way, it's always fun to see its HP 60. Excuse me. I don't know why I started hiccuping. 6720 to the usual 4800 is ridiculous. But you know there's something coming. So now you have to figure, what the hell do I split my gold income on? Do I rebuild an army? Even though he can build armies out of 4 castles, it's not a terrible position to be in. The Centurion, though, speaking of the cataphract being expensive, the Centurion's actually more expensive. I think it's like 80 or 90 gold instead of 75. So he's a really, really tough choice here for Kasva. And I think he sees 3 or 4 moves ahead, realizes there's no right answer here. And oh goodness, there's another body of cavalry getting ready to pounce. And I think tapping out probably the better move here. Live to fight another day. Mr. Yo with the cataphracts and the about as decisive a battle as you can have in Age of Empires takes the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.